What's the haps, folks? This is Professor App here with some ranked battles for Splatoon 2. Today we're going to be using the Aerospray RG, and for those of you who've missed any of my previous ranked battle videos, I encourage you to check out the playlist in the description below. It's a good way to keep up with any other ranked battle videos that you may have missed, and it's a good way to keep up to date with any others I post in the future. So, as I said before, we're using the Aerospray RG. It's one of my favourite weapons in this game. I wasn't actually particularly fond of the Aerosprays on the original game, but with this one, I just really like it. I think it's partly because of how quickly it covers turf and how well it's like, you know, gets coverage, and how, but also I think partly because it's got the sprinkler as its sub weapon. That really allows it to, like, you know, fill up your special gauge really quickly. And that's basically all you do with this weapon. You just, like, throw out your sprinkler, fill up your special gauge, use your baller, and then explode, rinse and repeat. That's basically all you do with this weapon, and I think it's really fun to use. So in these battles, we're doing some Splat Zones, which I've not actually recorded some Splat Zones in quite a while. I think it was only last time I did was my first video, which was quite a while back. So it's a good for me to try and get back into Splat Zones, because I actually do quite like Splat Zones. I think it might be my favourite of the 4 ranked matches, although I do quite like Rainmaker as well. But I do, like I say, I think I have enjoyed Splat Zones, and I do want to get back into it eventually. So as you can see, for this first match, we're in Blackbelly Skate Park for Splat Zones. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, on the first game I did not like Blackbelly Skate Park at all. I think it was probably my least favourite of all the maps on the first game. But I don't think I mind it that much on this game. I'm not sure what it is, but, you know, like I said, I don't really mind it as much, or maybe it's just because I haven't really been playing it as much. As you can see here, within like 8 seconds I've already filled up my special gauge, and I roll into the Splat Zone with my ball and kill that and splat that person with the explosion. So all I'm doing here is just trying to, like, fill up my special gauge again. Just keep an eye on the Splat Zones in case the enemy tries to, you know, get it back. So I threw out my sprinkler there just to try and get a bit more coverage, because I couldn't, because as you saw there, I wasn't able to, you know, get more turf because it's already been covered by the sprinkler there. And at that point, I wasn't really sure where to go, honestly, because I saw that the other Splat Zone had been taken, so I thought it was probably a good idea to. I wasn't really sure whether to stay there or go back to the other one, but I ended up doubling back and taking out that person with the splatter shot, which was quite nice. So around here, I was trying to, like, go around to the Splat Zone to try and, like, you know, get it back from the opponents, but unfortunately I get ambushed by those Splat Dualies, which honestly I didn't actually know they were there. So at this point I threw down a sprinkler to try and fill my special gauge, but unfortunately I swim straight into that suction bomb, which is very nice. That's always really annoying when you see it. I think not only when you see a suction bomb and get splattered, but when you don't see one as well. It just really annoys me when that happens, because it makes you think that you're not really paying attention or anything like that. So they end up taking the lead here, which is a bit annoying. I thought, okay, I really need to do something about this, and I need to try and, like, you know, find a way to get to the Splat Zone and you know, take it back, basically. So at this point I was just trying to, like, fill up my special gauge to see what I can do, and I was quite lucky there when I saw that curling bomb. I thought I'd best use my baller now to try and, like, scare them away, but unfortunately I get splattered by that splatter shot, which is not great. So at this point I just decided that I need to try and, like, fill up my special as quickly as possible, and then try to, like, get the Splat Zones back before the opponents can. I managed to throw my sprinkler onto the spire there, which is quite nice, because not only will it fill up my special gauge when it covers the turf, but also, like, hit the cover of the Splat Zones, which is quite nice. So I roll into the Splat Zone there, and I thought I might be able to, you know, take it back, and I do end up taking it back briefly, but unfortunately I was the only person alive on my team at the time, so we weren't able to take advantage of it. I tried to escape from that burst bomb to try and, you know, just get out of there, because I saw them hit me once, but I just couldn't get away because the enemy ink stopped me from moving, because obviously when you walk on enemy ink you slow down really quite a bit. So in hindsight, maybe I should have put some ink resistance up on this, but I didn't really think to do it at the time. Mainly because I thought the only abilities you need with this weapon are special charge up to fill up your special gauge really quickly, and some special powers just to make your baller a bit stronger. which means that, you know, you take some more damage before it breaks. And so at this point I'm just trying to find a way to cover the splat zone, try and take it back, and I end up getting splattered by those dualies again, which is very nice. But I saw that only one person was alive on their team, so I thought this is a good opportunity for us to try and take the lead, hopefully. So that's exactly what I end up doing here. I take this splat zone and we end up taking the lead. So at this point I decided to go on the spire just to try and cover any turf that the opponents get back from us. And so I decided to just leave the opponent, and my teammates are able to clear the opponents and stop them from getting back to the splat zones by themselves. So I don't really see much need for me to move from this spot at the moment. And I just decided to cover any turf that they end up covering. We end up taking the lead there, and unfortunately I end up using my special a bit too late and I end up getting splattered by that suction bomb again, which is mildly annoying. And so at this point I'm just trying to get back in to try and cover the splat zones and cover any turf that the opponents have got, and just trying to stop them from getting the splat zones back basically. I throw out the sprinkler there just to fill up my special gauging just in case I need it. But obviously you're going to see that I don't actually need it, and this is going to actually end up being the game here. I was a bit concerned because we actually lost the splat zone there, but unfortunately for us we managed to take it back, so that's going to be the whole game. So a fairly successful first match. I did make a few minor hiccups there with swimming straight into that suction bomb, but overall I thought I did quite well for a first match. Like I say, I do find the Aerospray to be really fun, especially this one because of just how quickly you can fill up your special gauge and roll around with your baller. I think I prefer that to the MG, which has the suction bomb and I think the curling bomb launcher. And I'll probably use that later in another video, and I end up leveling up there, so we will be right back. Okay, for the second battle we are in Schellendorf Institute, and honestly I don't really know how to feel about this map, because on the one hand sometimes I feel like it's one of my favourite maps, but other times I feel like it's one of my least favourites, because sometimes it just feels like sometimes you can't really do much in this map, and it's quite easy to get boxed in, like you can in maps like Port Mackerel for example. So at this point I decide to try and get some coverage to fill up my baller. I go up the top here to try and go around and try and sneak up on them. I explode my baller here, but in hindsight it was probably a bad point to try and explode it, because at the time I thought I might have been able to get someone with it, but unfortunately I end up overestimating how far the explosion goes. So I probably should have gone a bit further and just tried to concentrate on the splat zone in that regard. So at this point I'm trying to fill up my special gauge and hopefully try and get a bit of coverage on the splat zone. I decided to stay up here because of the dangers of using the Aerospray against opponents, because of its really short range. And as you can see there, I actually get a surprise on that 10 to take splatter shot, and I end up losing for it, because not only is this weapon got really low range, but it's also very weak. I think it's the only shooter in the game which takes at least 5 hits to KO. So at this point I just go up here to try and get a bit of coverage on the splat zone down here, just from down below, and because of my efforts we end up taking the splat zone away from them. And so I was trying to take out this inkjet here with my baller, and I saw them the position where they launched it from that leaves that marker. So I thought I'll wait here and see if I can KO them, and I managed to do so. So I tried to go back there to try and cover the splat zone with my Aerospray, but I saw that blaster person who was quite annoying, so who was trying to shoot me, because obviously they can outrange me with their weapons. So I had to back off a bit. I dropped down in the splat zone with my ball to try and not only to scare them away, but try and get the splat zone back. I end up getting that blaster with my ball, but unfortunately I get splattered by those dualies, which is very nice. So at this point I'm just trying to think of a way to try and get my special, and hopefully to try and get the splat zone back. I don't know why I went along the ink rail. I should have just gone. Honestly, I should have just gone round to the left and tried to be sneaky, because I don't know why I didn't see that inkjet person there. And I thought if they see me, I'm definitely going to get splattered, and that's exactly what happens. Especially since this weapon has very poor range and damage output. So I should have just concentrated on trying to get the splat zone from up here. Unfortunately, that rapid blaster was waiting there for me, and because they can outrange me, I was forced to move away. Thankfully, I managed to get the splat zone back, but unfortunately, I get surrounded on all sides by 2 people. and honestly my teammates really aren't doing anything at all to help at this point. They just end up keep getting splattered. I don't know what's happening. So at this point I'm just trying to think of a way to try and get around it. I threw that sprinkler out just to try and, like, you know, scout out to see if anyone was waiting there, and there was that roller who was waiting there, so I decided not to go that way, and I ended up getting splattered by those dualies somehow. Probably because this weapon itself is, like I say, very, very weak. So honestly, I didn't really think we could win from this, but I'd still try anyway, because obviously you should always try in situations like this, because you never know what can happen in Splatoon 2. So at this point I launched my ball to try and, like, get the Splat Zone back in it. I really don't know how we didn't get the Splat Zone back in at that point, and obviously everyone dies at once there, so unfortunately that's going to be the game, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons why might not like Shellendorf Institute as much as people, because sometimes it does feel like you get boxed in quite a bit, which I think is what happened in that match with not only myself but also my teammates. I feel like they couldn't really do anything. I don't know whether it's because the opponents were just able to coordinate themselves, or whether my teammates just weren't good enough, but that's the life, I suppose. So now we're going to go on to the third battle of this video, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the third battle we are back in Blackbelly Skate Park, and this is going to be a bit of a shorter video, but I thought it would be nice to put it in just because of it. It's quite a good demonstration of how I use the Aerospray in this match. So as usual, I try to fill up my special gauge and get a bit of coverage as quickly as possible, and as usual I end up getting my ball really quickly, so I use that on go over to the enemy's Splat Zone and end up taking it. And I thought I might be able to, like, try and get them with my Aerospray there, take them by surprise, but they end up running away, and I thought it was probably best not to chase after them because of this weapon's poor range. So like as usual, I'm just trying to get a bit of coverage here. I have no idea how that charger shot me. I honestly did not know they were there at all. And I don't even know if they were if it was like they appeared around the corner for just a brief second. In that brief second, they managed to splat me, or well, I don't know what happened. I'm probably need to watch that later again at some point. And so we end up taking the Splat Zone back thanks to my baller, and we end up also taking out that roller, which is quite nice. So at this point, I'm just trying to, like, hinder their progress, as it were, and I end up taking out that shooter using their Splat Bomb launcher, so that's quite nice. So I thought it was a good idea just to try and, like, take out as much of the turf as possible. I knew that roller was coming there, and I thought it would be a good idea to wait for them, to wait and then surprise attack them to try and splat them, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work out. I don't know whether they saw me or not, but they somehow managed to splat me, and I ended up getting splatted myself, which is quite nice. So I threw my sprinkler out onto the spire there to try and cover the Splat Zones and to fill up my special gauge, and I launched my ball there just to try and, like, get the Splat Zone back, and that ends up what's happening here. And I saw that only one person was alive on their team, so I thought this might be a good chance for us to, push forward and stop them from getting back to the Splat Zones. I don't know whether it was me or my teammates who took out that roller, but either way, I thought it was quite a nice bit of revenge. And so at this point, it's clear that we're going to win this. And because my teammates are able to stop them from their progress, that's going to be the game. So, like I say, a bit of a short match, but I thought I'd put it in anyway because I thought it was a good demonstration of how to use this weapon in Splat Zones, especially when you're using the baller. I think the main reason why I'm able to get it up so quickly is because I'm using quite a lot of special charge up. I think I'm using 1 main and 3 subs of special charge up on this, which is really all you need to do is just get some special charge up, fill up your special gauge, use it, and then rinse and repeat, like I say. And so now we're going to go on to the final battle of this video, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the final match of this video, we are back in Shellendorf Institute. As you can probably tell, this is going to end up going one of 2 ways given the length of the video left. So as usual, I'm going to go fill up on my special gauge and try and get a bit of coverage as usual. I decided to try and go around the back way this time to try and maybe surprise them with my ball or something like that. And I thought I might be able to get the Splat Zone here with my ball or and just try and get the Splat Zone for us to take control. And I thought I might be able to take out that person there with the with the squelcher and catch them by surprise, but unfortunately that brush person was waiting for me. I honestly didn't know they were there, so that ends up costing me quite a bit. So at this point I'm just trying to get back in and hopefully try and get the Splat Zone back, and I use my other tactic of going up to the top here and trying to get the cover the Splat Zone from the top, which is quite nice. And I saw that person with the splatter shot there, and I ended up taking them out, which is quite nice. I don't know if they saw me or not, and honestly I feel like they probably should have, and I should have probably been splattered there because of this weapon, because this weapon is very weak compared to the splatter shot. And I decided to use my ball and roll all the way up to get that jet squelch. I ended up taking them out without even exploding. I don't know what happened there. I think they must have been damaged already or something, because I don't know how I don't think the ball can KO in one hit with just by rolling or something like that. So I tried to take out that inkjet person, but honestly that was a pretty poor decision on my part because of this weapon's poor range, and so I end up getting splattered and they end up taking control again, which is quite nice. So at this point I'm just trying to fill up my baller again. I try to roll in here like this, trying to get the Splat Zone back. Unfortunately they end up breaking my baller, which means that when you see that special band of tape around it, when they break that, means that the explosion of the ball is very, very small, and you can actually be taken out after that. Honestly, I thought I could actually go up that wall there. I actually forgot you couldn't go up there, so I ended up getting splattered by that shooter there, which is rather annoying. I have no idea why that charger was just sat on the respawn point there. I don't know what on earth they were doing. It's probably one of the reasons why this match doesn't go too well. Luckily, I managed to take out that splash shot person. I think I must have taken someone else out when I was shooting down from above. I don't know how I did that, because I don't think it was my unless it was my sprinkler or something. I don't normally get kills with a sprinkler, but you never know. Maybe that's what happened. I saw that explosion from the burst bomb there. I thought I'd probably need to either get out of here or try and take them out with my shooter or with my ball. And honestly, I think I probably should have just run there because they were just able to outrange me and take me out with their splatter shot, which is very annoying. So I tried to jump back in just to try and hopefully get the Splat Zone back, and we end up taking the lead here, which is quite nice. So I honestly don't know what happened there. I suppose I must have been taken out by two inkjets at once, and so because of that we end up losing the Splat Zone here, which is quite very annoying. So I tried to go back in here to try and hopefully surprise them and try and get the Splat Zone back from up here. Unfortunately, I get targeted by those tenta missiles, which means I'm not able to stay in at that spot. I end up getting splattered by that brush, which is quite nice. Because honestly, I don't know whether I would have won that match or not. And that, as you see there, that charger person was just sat there on the respawn point doing nothing, which is very helpful indeed. And obviously, I can't really do anything against that jet squelcher with us until I fill up my special gauge. So I tried to go into the Splat Zone and try to hopefully take it back. And I have no idea how we don't take it back here. I feel like this is surely we must have been able to get the Splat Zone back at this point, but for some reason we don't, and because of that we end up losing the lead here, and that is in fact going to be the game. So not really a great showing for my team, especially since there was one person with that charger who was just basically doing nothing and just sat on the respawn point. I don't know what it is with people like that. I don't know why they just decide to stop there or something. I don't know whether they've got other things to do or they've been distracted or something. But if you're gonna do that, I don't know why you bother playing the game at all. Unless of course they're disconnected, which means I guess that means they need to get better internet. That's the thing with this game. You really need good internet if you want to get high up in the ranks. So that's going to be the end of the video. And like I say, I do enjoy using the Aerospray RG. In fact, I think it's one of my favourite one of my most favourite weapons to use in this game. I just think it's a very fun weapon to use. I wouldn't say it's my best weapon. I still think that's the end of that, but I think I do enjoy using the Aerospray a lot, and I don't really use shooters a lot actually, so that's saying quite a bit. But anyway, if you like this video, then please give it a like, and if you're not already, subscribe. It really does help me out to get my channel known. If you want to see more content like this and more Splatoon 2, or if you have suggestions of your own of what weapons I should use, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. And until next time folks, bye.